I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. That's
24 years old.
That's a long life, though. He sounds like he lived a fulfilling life for a cat, then.
23.
23.
That's still a long time.
Petticoat.
Yeah, I'm taking my
Neo, sit.
Petticoat junkie.
Hey, come on,
Neo,
sit.
You know how.
Good boy. Stay. Sit.
All right, so we'll go over like how we're obviously like it's still a work in progress. So he's still got about a week and a half, 2 weeks with us. So what we're working on now is Neo. I know we're working on impulse control, right? So the way that we do our sits is you don't have to stay, or you don't have to say stay when you say sit. So the way it works, and we'll see if we can get him to do like a nice clear run with this, is Neo, sit. And so he should sit. The way that we have our sits is that when it's fully proofed and everything, he'll just stay here until I release him. Okay, good boy. Oh yeah. And that's how you do it. So you don't have to stay. You don't have to say stay. They'll just automatically do it for you. And they know once they're in a command. And every dog that we train them to know once they're in a command that they have to wait for us to release them. So whether that's a recall, let's say Neo's out in the yard, comes and runs up to me, and then he has to sit, and until I release him, he's going to stay there. If I tell him to, if I'm like, Neo, sit, he knows once that command's active, he has to stay. In the heel, same principle, right? So that's the main thing we're working with him, though, is that impulse control. Like, you gotta stay in the command, because he's so excitable. But I love training dogs like him. They're so cute. You can't help it.
This is his favorite position.
Oh, I know, because when I go get him out of the kennel every morning, he rolls over like this, and he's like, love on me.
And then when he goes to sleep, that's his favorite position, too.
Yeah.
He's been so depressed since he's been born.
Man. Yeah, that's pretty normal. A lot of dogs, especially. How long have you had?
They both. We got them from an army couple that were being transferred, and they couldn't take them. And they had acquired them from another service family when he was 2. And he was not quite 1.
Okay, so they've been together for a while.
Yeah, they've grown up together.
Yeah, I'm sure the split was really tricky. It looked really hard for them.
Yeah, it's.
So I can show you the next command that we're working on. So right now, have you been watching the videos that we post at all for Neo on our Instagram?
You sent me 3 videos.
Okay.
And they were mainly with. I'm assuming it was Chris. It sounded like him.
Yeah, so
out walking.
Yeah, so Christian worked with him for the first half, like for the first while. I've been working with him for about the past week now, because we've kind of like been expanding what we do with our business. So we have a shelter that we've teamed up with to get like dogs that have problems, try to get them trained and then get them to families so they're not stuck in the shelter.
Chris was saying.
Yeah, so he's been going out there, and so a couple of dogs that he was working with, he's turned over for me to work with. So
I figured that there would be an energy.
Yeah, so usually there's not, actually. We do like to keep each trainer, like, so we can really like have when you have breaks in trainers, it does make it a little trickier. Whereas like if you just have one trainer, there's a bond there, it's easier. I'll be honest, when I saw Neo the first day, I was a little jealous, because at the time I was like, he's so cute, and then Christian was like, he's mine. And I was like, I want to work with him, and I wasn't supposed to, but because of going out to the shelter, I ended up getting to work with him. So we've been having a lot of fun.
That's what broke me when they posted on Facebook, the young couple that had them. They had 4 kids, teenagers, and
Neo,
if we didn't go and get them that day, they were going to be taken to the pound.
Neo was going to go to the pound? Aww.
Both of them, because the family couldn't take him, and they were due in Texas.
He's such a happy little dude, too. He's just always happy, yeah.
And So we made arrangements because at the time our daughter lived with us and she had 4 dog pits. And
Oh, wow.
her one pit killed my Chihuahua, and it was a very tense situation.
Wow. Yeah.
My grandsons can't understand why the pit's still alive because my Chihuahua was my whole life.
Yeah. I'm sure that was really traumatic too. Like
She was
Yeah.
she was a toy. She was my service dog.
Oh,
She went everywhere.
yeah.
And when we traveled, she would wrap herself around her butt over here and her head over here. And I mean, it was, and there's a hole that I refused to fix in my patio screen because she couldn't go down the steps to go potty. So she dug a hole. And she was on her way out.
So you have a way to remember her, kind of leave it like
the
that.
pit grabbed her. And I just,
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. That's rough.
80 years old, and I slept with a dead dog all night crying.
Oh, well.
Doesn't help matters. I
No, but
cried this morning when my
no. I mean, look. The thing is, we get it. Like we get attached, like to people and pets that are around us. I mean, when they become like pets become an integral part of the family. So when they
exactly.
yeah,
and,
when
you know, and when I get a pet, especially when I get them from shelters,
yeah,
it's, I promise you will never have to find another home.
yeah.
And
That's how
when
it
the
should be,
cat got to be too much for me
Yeah.
with my asthma, everybody said rehome him, take him to the shelter. And I can't. I made a promise when I got him. I can't.
Yeah.
You know.
And you're referring to Neo?
Pardon?
Are you talking?
I'm referring to the cat.
Oh, the cat. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah.
Oh no, Neo's not going anywhere.
I hope not. Well, look, if you got to get rid of him, you have my number. I do like Neo quite a bit. He reminds me of a dog I trained several months ago that I still miss. He was a black lab, kind of. He was a little chunkier than Neo, but adorable. So I'll show you what we're still like really working on.
Okay. One thing you said about labs. The cat that passed away this morning, my daughter brought him to me from in front of a grocery store 24 years ago. They said he was 6 weeks old. He was not 6 weeks old. I refused to get attached to the dog. I said, if he's still alive in January, I'll think about it. My lab, actually my grandson's lab, actually raised the cat.
Really? Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, he didn't know whether he was a cat or a dog. Hence his name was Cog.
You said it was Cog?
Yeah.
That's cute.
C-O-G.
C-O-G. Dog.
Yeah, that's cute. Aw.
C for cat, no G for dog.
I think Neo missed somebody. Yeah. All right. So I'll show you so obviously we've been doing the impulse control that I talked about. The other thing is, I have to admit, Neo's a little bit of a tough dude. Like in training with him, he's a little tough. Like I kind of tried to get him to do some stuff, and he was like trying to walk away from me. He's got a little sass. I like him. So what I've been doing is having like these pieces of kibble. And that's how I've been teaching him to do the down. So the first way is I just tried to get him in that position where I'll lure him in, like, kind of like where he lays down and everything. And now I'm working on luring him into it. And then once he's there, he doesn't get the treat until he's stayed there for a couple seconds. And eventually after that, I can wean him off the treat and eventually just make it, first I might have to do the word and like point, and then I can take the point away and it's just a word. So kind of. We haven't worked a ton today because I didn't want to like tire him out too much by the time he got here. So let's see how he's doing with that. Neo, hey buddy. Ooh. Go. Come on, you got it. Neo. You got it. Down. Come on. Bro, you're in my way.
Bear.
What's his name? Bear. Hey Bear, you're cute, but you're blocking my training, bro.
He's a dachshund lab.
That's a mix. I don't think I've ever met like a dachshund lab before. That's cool. All right, Gunny, down. Come on, buddy.
Neo is pure lab.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's papered.
Neo. Hey, look. Oh, come on. All right, he's giving me a little trouble right now. I do have it on video. That's the thing. Like sometimes it's still 50% with what he's doing.
Yeah, I think it's because he's excited.
He is really excited to see you guys too. Labs are, in my opinion, some of the most excitable dogs I've trained. So like, And I think sometimes labs are even more excitable than like retrievers. And I say that because every lab I've trained, the second they like see me or they see one of their people, they just like lose it. They just go crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
He says, I know this carpet is full of me.
I'm going to try the down again in a little bit once he's calmed down. What I'm going to go over now is the way that we train our words to communicate. So obviously you have your commands, which are sit, down, heel, let's go, that kind of stuff, right? And then you have what markers, which are basically when we condition the dog to this word means something, right? So we're like classically conditioning every time you hear this word, this happens. So like every time he hears okay, he knows to get up. That's more of like a release. But as far as the markers go, we have two, and that would be and nope. Okay? So kind of like think of like a,
Oh, here
like,
comes trouble.
uh-oh. Oh, I expected another dog.
Oh, no. He had a German Shepherd,
Oh, nice.
and him and Neo were like,
I trained a shepherd a couple months ago, actually. Yeah. They're an adventure.
pardon?
I said they're an adventure to train. They're not. I think the trickiest dog I trained recently was a husky. They're pretty stubborn, but
Zach would take his dog upstairs to bed with him, and Neo, of course, we get up earlier.
yeah.
He would go up and whine at the door until Titus
He's
would
getting exercise, man. He's getting big.
I was like,
It's actually funny. Almost every dog that we train, when we like, when they see their dog after a while, they're like, that dog, like the dog gets a little muscle. Actually, there was Christian was working with a South African Mastiff, and he was like I think he was like 140 pounds maybe. It was like huge. And by the time he was done working with us, he looked like a bodybuilder. Like he had all these like muscles on the arms and the back. He looked really strong. His mouth was the size of my head.
I'm a real sucker for dogs. It's, I am to the point where there's an ad on Facebook. It's Rescue Pets, where they're selling this kind of bracelets with paw prints on them for class. And for every bracelet they sell, they partnered with a dog food company, and they say they can feed 10 dogs. And what their partners do is they go out and just, in the wild, they have pipes attached to poles. They fill it with food and dishes. I signed up for a year.
Oh, nice. I know. I take him out, and he's so chaotic. He like rolls around in the mud, poops and sits in it.
he's a dirty boy. He got this little.
Well, you know, the dirtiest dogs sometimes are the cutest ones. Because come on, if you're not a cute dog and you're dirty, then sometimes that can be problematic.
Just to say he's sick. Don't get too close.
Okay.
I was like, I just had to say hi to the puppy that I missed.
Well, I hope you feel better.
Slowly. I know you can't. I know. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Neo. Hey, you'll be back home in like 2 weeks. Come on, Neo. All right. So back to what I was talking about, because he gave me a little bit of confused look. So when I say that, it's kind of like, think about like your kid with like, let's say the stove's on, right? It's like it's just like jet, like it's like peak heat, right? And your kid's about to like touch their finger on the stove. And you're like, don't do that.
That's what I was going to ask you to do, is repeat it, because I thought you said Eck, and I'm thinking, are you German?
No. Well, actually, though, sometimes we do train our dogs in German on request, but no, I am not part German. That'd be cool. So that's like the one. So that's the way you teach a dog is either you punish or you reinforce a behavior. So a behavior that would be punished is a behavior you just like never want to see ever again, right? So like when Neo jumps on people, you don't want him jumping on everybody. So like so that's like a very first nope, and then you do the e-collar afterwards. I'll touch on why that's important in a second. If it's a behavior you're trying to reinforce, so let's say like I put Neo in like a down or a sit or whatever, and he's doing good, but he gets up before I release him. Well, I want to reinforce that behavior of sitting, so I'm going to be like, and he's going to like pop back into place. I know, I'm not mad at you, I promise. Yes, I'm not mad at you. So that's mainly the difference, is just contextually speaking. As far as what you're doing, it's almost the same, but it registers to him differently. Depending on the word, it either means a behavior I need to get rid of altogether, or I messed up and I need to like go back into the position I was in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be a work for jumping would be very definitely.
Yeah.
Because here, first of all, he'd knock me over.
Yeah, I was about to say, we can't have him knocking you over.
And pulling on his leash.
Yeah.
This one never leaves the yard. This
Yes.
one will take off.
So that's like the one thing pretty much already that he's doing good on. Like he's not pulling at all anymore. So he hasn't. He pulled me a little bit when he saw you guys. I think that's just because he was like, it's mom and dad. But like 99% of the time when I'm out there, he's not pulling on me. The main one we're working on right now is still the heel, because the heel I would say takes the most time.
Yeah.
I got him doing it for a couple seconds at a time, but it's not like where I want it yet. So mainly what we're going to be working on with him in the next week and a half, 2 weeks is the heel. Be like doing everything in store to proof it in higher distraction areas, and then on top of that, just his impulse.
Can you do your healing on your left?
So I have it set to I always have it on the left.
Okay, because you would have to walk beside my room.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted it on the right, it's not too late for me to change it, but I have him default on the left. Yeah. That's where I put all my dogs for a heel.
Because he would have to go beside my wheelchair.
Yeah. Okay.
And my wheelchair is guided by my right hand.
Okay. Yeah. Then he's already healing on the left. I almost want to demonstrate it, but I don't know if he's just too. He's pretty excited right now, and all the commands he knows them.
Hey.
But it's not proofed in a high distraction environment, so he's having a little tricky time.
Bear.
But let's see what we can do. I try to show off as much as I can, right?
And I know you missed him.
Neo, come. Sit. Hey. So that's kind of how it works, right? So he'll just stay sitting there until okay. So that's kind of how that works.
Good boy.
I said I was going to talk about it's very important in the order you do things. So I'll explain what I'm talking about. So I have my e-collar here. Like I said, he's a pretty tough dude. So he actually sits on like a 65. He's pretty tough. But the reason I'm talking about the e-collar is when we correct a dog, whether like I said, it's a reinforcement or a punishment, it's always very important that we say the word and then e-collar, like as close to being simultaneous as possible, right? So not at the same time, but like maybe like half a second after or a second after, like very quickly. The reason for that is, let's say like one of you guys are walking Neo, right? And he like makes a mistake or whatever. If you just e-collar with no context, he doesn't know why he feels anything. He's just gonna freak out and not, like he's gonna get confused and be like, what did I do? And like, you don't want that, right? That's a lot of times how people who don't know what they're doing, they can like make the dog become scared of the word sit or like weird stuff like that. So it's very important that it's always a cause and effect. I kind of liken it to this analogy that I've found myself using on the frequent. It's kind of a violent analogy, but it seems to get the point across. If I went up to either one of you, didn't know you at all, right? Or maybe we're friends, right? I go up to you and I'm just like, boom, I just punch you. And you'd be like, why did you punch me? There was like no context. Whereas if I was like, hey, can you go pick this thing up for me? And you're like, I don't have to do what you want me to do. I'm better than you did. If I punched you, it would be a very violent reaction, but you know why. You know what I'm saying? So that's the same thing. Is anytime that he gets any kind of e-collar things, he needs to know, why is the stimulation from the e-collar happening? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do know I talk fast sometimes, so I try to slow down. I'm a very excitable person, so.
I'm a New Yorker, so.
Okay. Okay, yeah, you're good then. Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna try to put him in a down again. See if I can.
You're gonna try and put him what?
I'm gonna try and see if I can get him to go in a down again, just to kind of show that off, just to show you what we're doing here. Neo, hey, look, down. Okay. Ooh. Fell out of my hand, but all right, I'll give you another one because I feel guilty. I can't.
I know. I got him to come up to sit and put both paws on my arm.
Oh, good boy.
Before we would go to bed, we'd say, okay, it's time to pray. And I'd put my arm down. Well, first he'd shake, and I'd, 2 hands. And he would come up.
Yeah.
And so I would, okay, we're prayer. And I'll wait a few minutes. And
Nice. Yeah, so that down you saw, when it's done, you don't need a treat to do it. You just be like down and he'll just go down. But that's what it looks like while I'm training it,
Well,
right?
when I would let him down, that's when he'd get his night toothbrush.
Okay. Aw. Yeah, so the only one, the only other command I want to go over is let's go, which is a little different than the recall, which is like come. Because if I'm like walking Neo and I'm like, Neo, come, he's going to come to me and he's going to sit down. At least when it's done. I can't promise he'll do it now, but when it's done, right? Versus the let's go is a directional thing. So if you're on a walk and like, let's say he's like fixating on, I don't know, let's just pretend he's like fixated on this rug right here. And he's sniffing it and you're walking and he's kind of like still staying there. Then you can be like, let's go, and he'll follow the direction you're going.
Oh.
So I can kind of